Hey everybody, Travis here at mudcreek.com. Today I want to do a review of the Mountain House beef stew pouch. So this has been a popular seller for several years. It has 14 grams of protein, which is a little higher on the protein count, compared to some of the others. So, I think that's appealing to a lot of people. Plus, especially like on the cold day. Like today, for example, school was canceled here, with my kids. And because it was 16 below and we had a fair amount of snow and stuff, so it was just a colder day. So this is like the perfect thing to eat on a day like that, especially if you're outdoors or something like that, just in a colder day. So I've honestly never had this one, so this is going to be an experience for me. So this is 4.3 ounces is the pack weight on it. I'll give you the dimensions real quick. It's about 8 inches by 9.5 by, and all these pouches, I know it's probably a little redundant, but pretty much all the main serving pouches that are about 2.5 servings are about the same. So it's about 2 inches wide, and you can kind of adjust that a little bit. And like I've said in other videos, you can stack them, take another one like that, another flavor, the same flavor, you can stack them in your pack like that. You can kind of like strap them down and kind of bundle them together a little bit better, if you want to try to conserve on some space. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ingredients here. We'll take a look at the nutritional facts first. So 210 calories, and that's 2.5 servings. So with 210 calories, that's going to give you, let me just tell you that real quick. That's going to give you roughly, so 210, I do it in my head, but I'd probably tell you wrong. So that is 525 calories total. So, in reality, if you were going to use this, and this is the only meal you're going to eat for like lunch or dinner or something like that, you'd probably end up eating the whole pouch, one person. So keep that in mind if you're buying these. Make sure you're getting enough for your trip, Don't just look at the size and take their word for it as saying, okay, 2.5 servings, so that's going to feed me and my wife on a hiking trip. It might, it might do fine, especially if you got some other snacks and things like that. But if not, you might end up needing to eat one of these pouches per meal per person, so keep that in mind. So calories from fat is 67 grams of fat, carbohydrates 24 grams, protein is 14 grams, and so the ingredients, potatoes, beef, it contains wheat, soy, so if if you're allergic to something like that, keep that in mind. So all we're going to do is we're going to open this up and we're going to take out the oxygen absorber, and like most of these, it takes 2 cups of water, boiling water. So we'll boil some water, get that going here, and then we'll show you what we've got. So we're going to go ahead and crack this open. Keep in mind, shelf life on these is used to be 7 years, now it's 10 years. They say you can easily go 15 on them. They don't even put a that's the oxygen absorber, by the way. They don't even put an expiration date anymore. They put a manufacture date. So you're going to see MFG, which is manufacture date, May 29th, 2013. So 10 years from that date, technically. They say they can go up to 30 years. Really, it's not like they go bad. They just lose some of their flavor and kind of that potency. You'll probably lose some, maybe some nutritional side of it as far as the calories might go down too. So, but they said they've eaten some that are 30 years old and they're confident that even at that rate, they're still okay. So for food stores and things like that, this is a great option. So let's take a look inside. That looks pretty good. They got some beef chunks, you got some potato chunks, carrots, it looks like peas, and obviously some seasoning. So we'll go ahead and get this going here. I'm going to throw down a towel, but we'll get our water going, and we'll add, the 16 ounces, basically 2 cups. So this is marked in ounces, so keep that in mind. So you're just going to go 16 ounces. So if you had to do like a cup and a half, you can kind of reverse that and just figure, it's going to be between 8 ounce and the 16 ounce mark. So we'll go ahead and get this fired up. Throw water on here. This is the Crux Light Stove. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave that and let that go for, probably take 2 or 3 minutes for it to boil, and then I'll be back and we'll show you what we've got. Alright, we're back. Looks like our water is starting to steam, so we're going to go ahead and shut this off. And just be careful with this. You just want to be careful that you're not, you obviously don't want to burn yourself. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and add this water. So this is 2 cups of boiling water. We're going to go ahead and add it to the the Mountain House meal here. Let me scoot this back a little bit so you can actually see. Just be careful, you don't want to burn yourself, obviously. Here it's sizzling a little bit in there. Set this aside. So, you know, it says to take a spoon and you just want to go ahead and stir that up a little bit. I'll show you here in just a second what it looks like on the inside, you know, before we seal it off, and we'll let it sit for about 8 to 9 minutes. But you know, the big thing is you just want to kind of get down the corners there. The seasoning tends to kind of get trapped sometimes and fall down there, and so just to make sure you mix it up good. Seems like when you mix it good, it tends to taste a little better to me anyway. You know, it actually looks pretty dang good. Just looking at it, you know, I'm kind of excited to try this and see what it tastes like. Normally not a huge stew guy, so we'll see. I know I say that about just about everything, but you know, can't say beef stew is just something I crave. You know, maybe I'm just too much of a pizza and hamburger guy, but so we'll see what it tastes like and kind of go from there. So we're gonna let this sit. Like I said, let me make sure I read that right. Yep, 8 to 9 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and throw it in this bowl. So we'll be back in 8 to 9. Okay, we've let that sit for about, you know, it was about 8 to 9 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and open that up and see what we've got and give you a little taste test here. Virtual taste test, that is. So we'll mix that up a little bit, but you can go ahead and see what it looks like on the inside, and you know, that, like I said, that actually looks pretty dang good to me. We'll go ahead and give it a try and see what it tastes like here. You know, and that actually poured out real easily, which is nice. You know, in the past, sometimes you really got to scrape in there, so that came out real well. So if you're ever kind of curious what the bottom of that looks like, it's kind of a, it almost looks like the bottom of a boat or something like that. So if you're kind of curious as far as, you know, when you're stirring it up, you know, what corners to focus on, that's what you've got. So this is pretty hot here. Let me adjust the camera so you can see a little bit better. There we go. So this is what we've got. This is the beef stew. Like I said, I've actually never had this one before, so this is going to be new to me, but you can kind of get an up close here and see the different flavors. So you got your beef chunks here. You got your potato chunks, you got your carrot chunks, if I can get that one, and you got, looks like peas here. Yep, peas. So you get the whole idea here. Got my little guy with me, he's going to taste it too and tell you what he thinks. So I'm going to try it here. Let me get a little of everything here. And it's probably a little hot. You know, it actually tastes really good. It kind of reminds me, I mean, it tastes a little bit like canned soup, maybe. I think it's definitely a little harder than a lot of the canned soups I've seen. Almost just off the top of my head, the thing I can kind of relate it to the most is it almost tastes like the inside of a hot, not a Hot Pocket, but one of those chicken pot pies. But this is, you know, it'd be like a beef pot pie or something like that. But it kind of reminds me of that, just a little bit. And I actually like those a lot, so that's a good thing. Yeah, it tastes good to me. Hold on, I'll have my little guy try it here, and we'll tell you what he thinks. He's 6 years old, so he's a little pickier on his eating, and I'll have you tell you what he thinks. Come here, Isaac. It's a little hot, so be careful. What do you think?
Good.
Tastes good?
Huh?
So, you know, he likes it. You know, I definitely take this. This would be a great one to throw in, especially, you know, in the fall for hunting, things like that. May not be as appealing to you, you know, if you think like, oh, I'm going hiking or camping, you know, or backpacking in the summer. In some ways it may not be, you know, you might think, oh, I don't want hot soup, but, you know, it's just kind of a hearty meal, you know, especially like, you know, it seems like whenever I go backpacking, get up there, like we went up in the Sawtooth, got up this back lake, and it got pretty cold at night. So don't downplay that this may, you know, a lot of those high country lakes and those high mountain lakes and stuff, they still get pretty cold at night. So, you know, they'll get down in the 40s for sure. So I would enjoy this, especially at night, maybe for dinner as a night meal, and just to kind of warm me up before before bed and things like that. So something to think about. Hope you enjoyed the review. Come check us out at www.muddcreek.com, and I hope we can help you out. We sell these there, and we sell them by the case or individually. So thanks.